hereby convey honor and recognition upon Edward Miskowski in the state of Connecticut. Congratulations, Ed. Would you like to say a few words?
Is Ed in the meeting? Ed?
I believe he's on.
I don't see him. Shelley, do you see him?
He's, I believe, called in because he's in the office.
Oh, okay.
You might have to unmute yourself, Ed.
So maybe he can come back. We can come back to Ed. If somebody can just reach out to him and make sure that he can be on the meeting. Maybe at the end we can recognize him again. 24 years. Moving on, Nandini, you're next with the CEO Executive Director's Report.
Great. Thank you again. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Happy New Year to everyone. Earlier this month, the TRAP and TMAP programs, the state's COVID-19 emergency rental and mortgage assistance programs respectively, came to an end. At the end of 2020, the federal government passed stimulus legislation authorizing $25 billion in rental assistance to the states. The Department of Housing, as the responsible entity in Connecticut, is working with other stakeholders and partners to create a second phase of emergency rental assistance with the new funding. Connecticut's share of the rental assistance is approximately $237 million. NCSHA, the State Housing Finance Agency's trade organization, has been heavily involved in negotiating and clarifying certain key aspects of the rental assistance programs, and has contracted with a consultant who is charged with studying and recommending best practices for programs developed by the states based on what worked and what didn't work in the earlier iterations of such programs. On the homeowner side of things, CHFA has been in conversation with the state's housing and banking committees on our foreclosure prevention efforts. We are aware that under President Biden's proposed stimulus package, there is good support for federally based homeowner relief in the form of emergency mortgage assistance. We are going to continue to provide our input to the banking and housing committees in the days ahead as they formulate a state response for homeowners exiting forbearance. Government-insured loans are largely protected through forbearance and modification options. And with a CDC eviction moratorium in place, there's currently no good way to know how many homeowners will need additional assistance to afford their homes once the moratorium is lifted and forbearance is no longer available. The risk of distress is greater for low-income and minority homeowners who are much more likely to be seriously delinquent after the pandemic than before. While we do not know the exact course of the pandemic and the ensuing economic crisis, we stand ready to assist and leverage resources from the federal government or the state as applicable. In other news, I was recently nominated by the Commissioner to the Federal Home Loan Bank Boston Advisory Council, and I'm pleased to report that I have been appointed for a 3-year term starting in 2021. I'm in excellent company with our own Kathy McKinnon being appointed for a similar three-year term. I look forward to serving on the council and bringing the Connecticut perspective about how best to leverage the bank's resources and programs for the benefit of our residents. We're currently in the implementation phase of our 3-year strategic plan. I look forward to providing updates periodically about our progress. Today, Hazim is presenting the framework for the Investment Trust Account Opportunity Fund that was presented to you in draft form in November. This framework will provide the broad policy objectives for staff as we look to implement programs and initiatives utilizing these resources. And each of these programs and initiatives will come before you for your approval as they become ready to proceed. In closing, I want to thank you for your support in 2020. I look forward to working together to advance the mission and goals of the organization in 2021 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Nandini. Any questions for Nandini? Okay, moving on to our next item. We have a resolution regarding external auditor for CHFA. Hazim, you're gonna present that resolution, please?
Yes. Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. Regarding the external auditor, in 2019, the board appointed Bloom Shapiro to act as its external auditor for the next 3 years. Late last year, Bloom Shapiro joined Clifton Larson Allen, and the merger became effective January 1 of this year. While the name is different, the engagement team remains the same. Pursuant to our ACM procedures, we would like to ratify and seek approval from the board to appoint Clifton Larson Allen as our new external auditor for a term not to exceed Shapiro's existing engagement. The resolution was presented to Finance Committee, and the committee asked questions about the existing contract and the remaining term of the engagement. The resolution was approved unanimously by committee, and I'll be happy to answer any question the board may have.
Thank you, Hazim. Can I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So
moved.
moved,
Tim
and I
Hodges.
have a question.
So Jerry move.
I'll second.
A second?
I'll second. Tim.
Tim, just second.
Okay.
And any discussions? You have a question, Craig? Go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick question. So what is the conclusion date on their original agreement, the original one with Bloom Shapiro?
So when the board appointed Bloom Shapiro for 3 years, the engagement is to work the audit for 2019 due in 2020, 2020 due in 2021, and 2021 due in 2022. So next year is the last engagement.
Okay.
Any other questions? Shelley, could you do the roll call, please?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Kayla Mascara Bruno,
Aye.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Aye.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Thank you. Motion carries. So Ron Nozek from the accountant is going to explain to us or go over the 2020 audit plan. Ron?
Thank you. I'll be brief here. I did meet with the Finance and Audit Committee earlier this morning and went through the plan. Effectively, our areas of focus for the audit this year are not going to be significantly different than they have been over the past couple of years that we have served as your auditors. There will be an expansive amount of testing relative to internal controls in the 2020 audit that in past years, we took a more substantive approach to the engagement, and by nature of that, the level of work we do relative to internal controls is a bit less. And as I explained to the Finance and Audit Committee earlier, relative to our merger with CLA, CLA does, they do have a little bit of a different risk profile base than Bloom Shapiro had relative to CHFA and the many housing authorities and organizations, corporations that they do work with. So we have met with their technical folks, or I guess our new technical folks relative to the engagement for 2020. There are some modifications to what was our original risk assessment that we performed in late November, early December. Most of that pertains to sample size selections and things of that nature. We do believe quite strongly that relative to the engagement itself and our interaction with management, it will be very seamless. We will just be changing the amount of sample size that we'll be looking at, all of which in most cases is going to be a little higher. So the finance, Allison's team may find that we're asking for a little more detailed information relative to the size of transactions, the number of transactions we're testing. But other than that, it should be very seamless. So I'm more than happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Ron. Any questions on the plan for the audit? I think you're okay. Thank you, Ron.
Okay, thank you very much.
On the Finance Committee, we have two items that Hazin is going to present. So Hazin, do you want to do the first one?
Yes, Madam. The next resolution is to amend the 2021A resolution that was approved by the board last November. Due to CHFA experiencing elevated prepayments level and the need to preserve and recycle tax-exempt authority, we are seeking the board to increase the bonding authority from 150 million to 270 million. All other conditions remain the same. Staff presented the resolution to Finance Committee, and Finance Committee asked questions regarding the nature of the increase and the relationship to the issuance of debt. The resolution was approved by committee, and there was one abstain. If there are questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you, Hazin. May I have a motion?
So moved. Sarah.
Sarah, second.
Second, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy. And any questions for Hazin? Okay, Shelley?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Aye.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin,
Aye.
Kim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Sayla Mascaro Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Hazin, the carryover state bond allocation.
Thank you. The resolution before you pertains to the private activity bond volume cap. Last December, the State Bond Commission awarded CHFA $105,962,174 of unused 2020 private activity bond volume cap. To preserve the award, the Internal Revenue Code requires us to file a carry forward application by February 15. We are recommending the approval to carry forward 100 million of multifamily and the rest for single family. In addition, on December 20th, the Census Bureau announced the state experienced a drop in population by 8,281 residents. The drop impacted CHFA 2021 tax exempt volume cap allocation and the 9% low-income housing tax credit calculation, and the 2021 land plan has been updated accordingly. The resolution was presented to Finance Committee. The committee asked questions about the impact of the 4% tax credit fixed rate and about the population drop. The resolution was approved unanimously by committee, and I'll be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Hazim. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second Abrahams.
Thank you, Jerry. Discussion, any questions for Hazim?
Question, what period was that 8,281 population drop over? Is that a yearly figure or?
Yes, it is a yearly figure. It's through June of last year.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, Shelley,
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Aye.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
McKinnon,
Aye.
Kayla Mascara Bruno,
yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Aye.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you, Hazim. Under the Mortgage Committee, Valencia is going to present a resolution to amend on the single family for this single housing down payment assistance, single family down payment assistance program procedures. Valencia,
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. You have before you today the resolution requesting your approval of the amendment to the single-family housing down payment assistance procedures. As you know, single family is in the process of implementing program and policy enhancements to the CHFA down payment assistance program that are focused on increasing opportunities for first-time home buyers to help them achieve the dream of homeownership. On November 1st of 2020, Single Family implemented the first revisions, which included increasing the maximum DAP loan amount to $20,000, allowing applicants to apply for financing for both down payment and closing cost assistance, expanding the total debt to income ratio from 43% to 45%, and increasing the combined loan to value from 100% to 105%. In the first month following the implementation of these changes, single-family loan reservations increased by 16%, and the percentage of reservations that included down payment assistance increased by 29%. We also, Single Family, presented a resolution to the board on November 19th, proposing an amendment to the down payment assistance procedures to waive the asset test restriction, which would allow applicants to retain their assets after closing that would help them in times of hardship. The resolution was passed and the proposal was submitted for public comment. What we were asking is that we will no longer require applicants to contribute funds over $10,000 towards the cost of acquisition. The public comment period was in effect for 30 days from December 15th through January 16th, 2021. There were no comments received by email or by mail. So we're here today to recommend the approval of the resolution to adopt the amendment to the Connecticut Housing Finance Authority Single Family Housing Down Payment Assistance Program to become effective with reservations on and after February 1, 2021. The resolution was presented at Mortgage Committee and it was passed. I thank you, and if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
thank you, Valencia. May I have a motion?
So moved.
That was
I'll
Kathy
second.
or Wendy?
This is Lisa. I'll second
Oh,
that.
Lisa. Oh, Lisa, you second. Okay. Shelley, did you get that?
Yeah, Wendy Clark,
Yes.
you made the motion.
Oh, Wendy Clark made the motion. Okay. So any questions for Valencia? Okay. Shelley, could you do the roll call, please?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger. Heidi,
Aye.
Kylie Goslin, I believe she is off. She's going to be away for the rest of the meeting.
Okay.
Tim Hodges,
Yes.
Catherine McKinnon. Hi. Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you, Valencia. The next item on the agenda under the mortgage committee is a prepayment of a mortgage loan. And Masuda, you're going to present the resolution?
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Multifamily has one resolution before you this morning. The vote in Mortgage Committee was unanimous. And I would also welcome Mortgage Committee, and we have staff available to answer any questions for you. So the board is being asked to approve the prepayment of two loans totaling $3.4 million for Summit Woods. This is a mixed income development located in Norwich. And this prepayment is as a result of the sale of the property to Q Residential. Approval of the prepayment is subject to conditions that are outlined in the memo for you, but I'm just going to very quickly highlight those for you. CHFA's approval of the purchaser and their management agent, continued compliance monitoring. This property will continue to maintain the affordability on the qualified units for another 85 years. And then lastly, review and acceptance of the final residual receipts analysis prior to closing. As part of the structure of this financing, CHFA is due to receive approximately $3.9 million. That number will be confirmed prior to closing. So those receipts would be used to potentially just invest back into CHFA's mission going forward. So with that said, we're happy to answer any questions for you.
Thank you, Masuda. A motion to approve the resolution?
So moved, Heidi.
Thank you, Heidi.
Second.
Thank you, Greg. Any questions for Masuda? Okay. Shelley, could you do the roll call, please?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Yes.
Catherine McKinnon. Hi. Salem Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugalde.
Yes.
Unanimous.
A motion carries. Thank you. Masuda, you are still on with, could you just go ahead on the next resolution, which is the temporary financial assistance extension?
Yes. Yes, we have two items here. One is the monthly board report, and then the second item is a second forbearance request for two properties. So let me turn it over to Wendy Morse to present these two resolutions for you, and then I will come back with my monthly report update for you.
Good morning. The request before you is to approve a second forbearance for two properties, Lawn Hill Terrace and Oak Park. Both properties are located in Stamford, and they're both owned by the Stamford Housing Authority. Lawn Hill Terrace consists of 32 units, and Oak Park is 168 units. Both are family developments and part of the moderate rental housing program, which is part of the state-supported housing portfolio. CHFA granted initial forbearances for these two properties in 2020 from May to July. And there was a payback period over 12 months when the forbearance ended. They have been paying as required under the forbearance agreement, and they're both current right now. However, the properties are continuing to suffer from rental delinquencies and increased expenses. And when CHFA extended the forbearance program, the Stamford Housing Authority requested a second forbearance for a period of 6 months. The Housing Authority has experienced a substantial increase in residents' accounts receivable since the pandemic started. Property management and resident services staff from the Stamford Housing Authority reach out to every resident that becomes delinquent and offers assistance, such as their own forbearance program or the state's temporary housing rental assistance program when it was available. They continue to reach out weekly to check in and to try to work with their residents. Unfortunately, some residents have been unresponsive, and the Housing Authority will likely need to pursue legal action when eviction moratoriums expire for those residents. In addition to the accounts receivable that have increased, the properties have also experienced increased expenses due to COVID-19, such as PPE and for maintenance and property management staff, increased cleaning costs, and hazard pay for their maintenance staff. After review of their request and the documentation provided, CHFA staff believes that the Housing Authority is making the efforts they should be to assist residents, and approving a second forbearance will help these properties to continue to do so and help stabilize the properties hopefully in the upcoming months. Therefore, we are recommending this request for the board's approval. Are there any questions?
May I have a motion to approve the resolution?
So moved.
You have a second?
Second.
Second.
Any discussions, any questions?
So it's Jerry. So again, given the larger context in which this is occurring, there really is no alternative here. The Housing Authority can't evict anyway, and this was otherwise well-performing assets pre-COVID. So I assume that really the expectation is with the vaccine and sort of a return to with a broader based economic recovery, that they'll this should resolve itself.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other comments or questions? Kelly, could you do the roll call, please?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Kim Hodges,
Yes.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Sela Mascara-Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you, Shelley. Hazin, you're going to be next on the next resolution for the modification of the temporary rental assistance. Hazin, did we lose him?
Yes, I thought that Masuda was going to do the report before.
The agenda, my agenda has in the modification.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I think rolled into the extension of forbearance to those two properties was a monthly reporting on the forbearance program in general, which was what Masuda was going to do next. But it's up to you if you want to skip it. It's totally up to you, Commissioner.
So we'll go back to Masuda. I have one item with Masuda, so we'll go back.
Yeah, got it.
Thank you. I'll be very quick. I mean, aside from the two or the forbearance that you just approved, demand continues to be lower than expected. Our asset managers are working in some cases with certain property owners who are seeking relief such as suspending monthly deposits into reserve payments. So, we're continuing to help our customers in ways, options that are available to us at this time. We will be sending out a survey to our property owners that are in CHFA's portfolio. In addition to that, our asset managers will also be making personal contacts with a number of those owners and agents, just to get a sense as far as how the pandemic is continuing to affect operations, cash flows, vacancies. So our goal is to be able to use that data as the rental assistance program, the new program that is being created, as well as seeing what CHFA can do with that information as the pandemic continues to be in place at this time. So with that said, that's it for me. If there are no questions, then we can turn it over to Hazim.
Thank you, Masura. Any questions for Masura before we go to Hazim? Okay, Hazim, you're on.
Okay. The next resolution is to seek the board's permission to modify and codify the arrangement we had with the Department of Housing in connection with the temporary housing assistance program for renters and homeowners impacted by COVID-19. Last June, the board authorized us to administer the program totaling 20 million, 10 million for renters and 10 million for homeowners, and it included a contribution of 200,000 by DOH to cover a portion of the administrative costs. The program was amended in October, where the renter assistance funding was increased to 40 million and DOH increased its contribution by 2 million. Now that the program is officially closed, we would like to amend the MOU so that it reflects the final funding amount for the program. For the board's benefit, we included a red line so that members are able to track the changes we made. I'll be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Hazim. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
I have a second.
Second, it's Tim.
Thank you, Tim. Any questions? Shelley?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Kayla Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Yes.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you. Hazim, you're still on with the next resolution.
Yeah, I'll be on for the next two. The following resolution pertains to a collaboration between CHFA and the Department of Housing in providing technical assistance in affordable housing. During the development of CHFA's strategic plan, it recognized the importance of investing in the affordable housing infrastructure, such as cultivating future leaders and advocates, in addition to designing new programs and funding vehicles. Since DOH was pursuing a similar strategy and CHFA did not want to create a redundant program, we decided to join forces and selected the leadership program designed by the Hamden Economic Development Corporation. The cost over a 2-year period will not exceed $100,000, and it will be funded using the Opportunity Fund. I'll be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
May I have a motion?
So moved, Heidi.
It's Tim. I'll
So
second.
Thank you. Any questions, discussion? Shelley, could you please do the roll call?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Aye.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Kayla Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Hazin, next one.
My last request is on the adoption of the policy statement for the investment trust and opportunity fund accounts. At the last board meeting in November, we shared with the board a draft policy statement for both accounts. As a recap, the policy statement was crafted using the framework approved by the board in 2013, where a policy statement should be strategic, mission-driven in nature, and have broad organization impact. Based on a revised CHFA capital structure, we designed the guidelines so that they are able to achieve three things. They comply with CHFA enabling statutes, they help us achieve our strategic goals, and they are consistent with the recommendation of the strategic capital analysis. Examples of usage includes rate buy down or gap financing. Other than some nits and wordsmithing, we did not make any material changes to the policy statement. If there are no comments, we seek the board to adopt the policy statement as presented.
May I have a motion?
So moved, Kathy.
Thank you, Kathy. I can have a second.
Second.
Thank you, Greg. Any discussions? Any questions for Hazin? Shelley, could you do the roll call?
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Aye.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Catherine McKinnon,
Aye.
Kayla Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Yes.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi.
Aye.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Thank you, Hazin.
Thank you very much.
Moving on, we have our consent agenda. If I can have a motion to approve our consent agenda.
I'll move. Abrahams.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions on the consent agenda? Shelley, please do the roll call.
Jerry Abrahams,
Aye.
Cindy Butts,
Yes.
Wendy Clark,
Yes.
Heidi DeWinger,
Aye.
Tim Hodges,
Aye.
Kathy McKinnon,
Aye.
Kayla Mascara Bruno,
Yes.
George Perez,
Yes.
Franklin Perry,
Yes.
Sarah Sanders,
Aye.
Lisa Tepper Bates,
Aye.
Gwendolyn Thames,
Yes.
Greg Ugaldi.
Yes.
Unanimous.
Motion carries. Wow, we have been very efficient today. We have few minutes. So if anybody has any questions or any comments before we adjourn, or can I have a motion to end the meeting?
Hey, just one quick thing, Saleh, it's Tim Hodges. We very briefly talked about the 4% change in Finance Day. I would, if possible, for the next board meeting, would like to hear a little bit more about how that change is actually impacting CHFA. I mean, I can tell you from the investor standpoint what we're seeing, but it would be interesting to see how that change is impacting the state and what CHFA is doing overall.
Thank you, Tim. I think that we could do that. Maybe what we'll do at the next board meeting to leave some space, maybe a 10 minutes conversation and or information. Hazin, can we do that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yes.
Masuda, yeah.
Okay. Any other comments? I know the finance committee, you guys were talking about the more on the first-time home buyers or refinancing, whether we can work on those two programs. So maybe we can have some space to have that conversation as with the whole board instead of just being on the committee. Would that work?
Yeah, I'm, if it's okay, I might take some time to make sure we're ready for that conversation. It might not be in February, but we can certainly try to target that. Is it your
That's fair.
preference that it be in
Yeah.
Feb or? Okay, okay.
So what we could do, if we do the 4% tax credit, is you guys can be prepared for that. And then we'll do the following month, we can do have a conversation and have the space just for the first-time home buyers in consideration for, or not, for refinancing, but that will be a discussion for the whole board.
Yep.
That works, okay. Thank you, Tim, for that. Any other suggestions or comments before we end? Okay, so can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Moved. It's Tim.
Second.
Second.
Can I just ask, did Ed come back? Weren't you going to say goodbye? I don't know if he's here.
Oh,
No, Ed,
it's
are you
dialed
there?
in.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to say
Sorry to
thank you.
interrupt.
Oh, okay, oh,
Sorry.
Ed. So it's,
Nannity
the
has to
floor-
read the proclamation again.
Oh, no, please don't.
Ed, go ahead. The floor is
Oh,
yours.
thank you. It's been my pleasure to serve CHFA for over 23 years. We've seen a lot of good things, done a lot of good things, helped many state of Connecticut residents, and I think we all should be proud of the work we've accomplished, and I really appreciate working with all of you. Thank you.
Ed, thank you very much on behalf of the board and the staff for all the years that you have worked with CHFA and making some changes in the state of Connecticut. We really appreciate it. And good luck in your retirement.
Thank you very much.
Again.
Okay, so we were on the second on the adjournment. Anybody in favor to end the meeting?
Aye.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Shelley, you got that?
Got it.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll see
Bye,
you next
everybody.
month. Bye-bye.
Bye.